That was very fast. Yep, it was very fast. So let's get started. Going live. Going live. You're live. Hello everyone. I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Yakuza 6, the Song of Life, on the 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, 570, and 1650 Super. How are you guys doing? So this game released on PC a few hours ago on the Microsoft Store, so if you have Game Pass, you should be able to access it right away. That's how I got access to this copy. Just Game Pass subscription, and you get it on the Microsoft Store. It should appear on Steam in a few hours, just like the Yakuza collection. Yo, MF Frost. Hides Gaming. Maybe later test that one, yeah. Hey Jim, 76UH, always here. Everything good, everything good. What about you guys? So this is the same engine as Yakuza Kiwami 2 and Like a Dragon, so the options menu should be very familiar. So let's get started. 1080p. We're on a 1050 Ti at the moment, if you guys were wondering. So 1080p, and then we're doing high settings, basically no motion blur, because to me at least it's very distracting. SMAA, since we don't have TAA. This on 16:9, so you can change the UI for different aspect ratios. Good to see that. And yeah, as you can see, everything on high, and we have SSAO enabled. So we got ambient occlusion. So yeah, let's save the graphics. No V-Sync as usual. And sorry about the no music, but it's not like I have much of a choice with YouTube. So yeah, anyways, as usual, oh, thanks MBB for becoming an awesome supporter 1.0. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you enjoy your icon next to your name and the emojis that are now available to you to use as much as you want. Thank you so much, man. So as I was saying, I'm starting the game right away, no music, because you know, YouTube. So I tried to get to Kamurocho, which is the main city, but just started in Hiroshima, so I'm be skipping all the cutscenes because no spoilers as usual, and I'm going to just try to get to Kamurocho, but again that's going to take some time, so I'm not going to try super hard to get there as soon as possible. I'm going to just try to get the best visuals, and then we'll see what we do. But at the moment, if we don't have enough time to get to Kamurocho, we're going to do a separate video on Monday, probably, trying to get there. But it shouldn't take super long to get there, so we'll see. I'm going to speed run through it. ¿Qué onda, perro? ¿Todo tranqui? Todo bien, Abu García. ¿Cómo andas vos? Good streaming? Well, thanks. Thanks, man. Thanks, Augmented Realism. You're always here as well. Always next to your name there. Did you get the vaccine yet? No, I registered for the vaccine. There's not enough space. So after the people that are over 50 years old are vaccinated, it's going to be my turn, which I guess will be in May, and I'm going to get the vaccine. So yeah, right trigger, and hit action as usual. I already played Kiwami 2, so sure thing. Hello everyone. Yep. Maybe you could try Watch Dogs Legion 2 since it's free a few days now. We'll see. We'll see. At the moment I'm pretty busy with tomorrow Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. And what else? Well, I'm with Yakuza today, so kinda busy. I love this series, but I'm going to be pretty busy testing this and Crash Bandicoot. So you know how it goes. Right. Come on. Yeah, super strong, as you can see. I can just make him fly away. Almost got him. But as you can see, even on high settings, we're getting pretty decent numbers. Again, remember, this is one of the basic cities. Once we get to Kamurocho, that has more stuff going on, it's going to be more demanding. At least it should be. Will you grow another head? Probably. That will be very useful. That will be a good side effect, at least in my opinion. Where can I buy this game on PC? You can play it using Game Pass, or you can wait for it to release on Steam, probably later today. So yeah, that's how it goes. Alright, on Sri Lanka it's only 60 plus, well, makes sense. I mean, older people are more susceptible to get hurt, so I think it's a good trade-off, personally. So yeah, let's skip this and go directly in front of the light, like you should do in real life. Just go to the light. No, do not go to the light. We'll miss you if you go there. Okay, we'll skip. Skippity skip. Skippity skip. I remind you guys, this is one of the latest ones in the series, so you probably want to finish the previous games before getting into this one. There's a lot of games to play before this, so... Bueno, gracias, Elmina Linsky TV. Sí, ya pronto vas a poder ver cómo corre. Se agradece un montón. Okay, the price of freedom. So many cutscenes. I mean, it makes sense. This is the latest game in the franchise, so... Okay. For some reason, though, the frame times are super unstable. Not sure what's up with that. Kinda weird. Let me see if I can fix that up by enabling and disabling VSync. That usually helps. So VSync on, then VSync off. No, that didn't do anything. Borderless and then to full screen again, maybe. Maybe that helps. Now back to full screen. Sometimes this helps, I just gotta try it out. Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem to do anything at all. So as you can see, unfortunately, we get some weird frame times. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. We're going to check it out later. So let's talk to everyone so we can progress. But so far, over 30 frames, no problems, on 1080p on the highest settings. We'll see how it goes. How much is this on Steam? I do not know, man. Haven't seen the Steam page just yet. It should be in a couple hours, it should show up. But I mean, if you can pay for Game Pass, should be okay. Shouldn't leave yet. Okay, let's get in then. Gotta talk to more people, as usual. We skippity skip. I'm never getting the vaccine. Oh, okay. No worries, man. Good thing it's a choice, not an obligation. Hi, MVS Tanglat. How are you doing, man? Good seeing you here. Thank you so much for joining us here testing Yakuza 6, which is finally on PC. We've been waiting for this forever. Hi, Mark13. You're always here, man. I appreciate that a lot. Saludos de Argentina. Bueno, saludos vecino desde Uruguay. Okay, let's see if we get to Kamurocho now. Please, please. Hell yeah, Kamurocho. Okay, that was fast. Okay, so finally, the place we were waiting for. Kamurocho. Good. Let's see. Can I save my progress? Hell yeah. Okay. So I can finally test a place where I can fight. So let's see if I can fight everyone at any point. Apparently not. Oh yeah, I gotta go that way, I think. Or I can just run around. Yeah, everything is locked. So let's go directly to the mission. Let's see if we can get some freedom after this. But so far so good. Let's go to Kamurocho. Yeah, exactly. Kamurocho. I love how they say that. It's pretty funny. Sky Financing. Gather info on Akiyama. Let's go the other way around. Akiyama. Oh yeah, so far so good even in Kamurocho. So So let's go to the second floor. Although the screen tearing is pretty noticeable. Super noticeable, actually. So you may want to use V-Sync on this one. Akiyama. We skip it all. Let me skip, please. Recién estoy jugando en serio, jaja, como 3 años a empezar a jugar este. Bueno, va a correr muy bien para cuando lo juegues. Alright. Let's go outside. I love that it is so fast, no loading times whatsoever. Although I need to buy some healing items just in case. Okay, here we drop below 30. Let me see if I can reproduce that. Yeah, when looking close to glass, I get some drops. Let me see if I can fix that up, lowering those shadows to medium. Let's see. Okay, a couple extra frames. I dropped to 29, no big deal in my books. So let's change this to 1080p high plus mid shadows. And let's continue. Alright. Yeah, this is not going to be good for healing. Oh, never mind. Here it is. Staminian X. Can I afford more? No. Love your content, keep it up. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, I think it's this way. Finally, some fighting. Yeah, gimme, gimme. Will you test Days Gone when it comes out? Yeah, of course, man. I'm super looking forward to it. Days Gone, Unreal Engine 4, PC, yeah. I'll be all over it. Yeah, the screen tearing is distracting, but you can use V-Sync, so should be okay. I maybe use fast sync after I'm done with this card, just to hide it for the live stream. I love that I can break a lot of stuff with this one. There we go. Let's throw him around. Yeah, the physics in these games are a lot of fun. I mean, look at that. Most of the fun comes from that, at least in my opinion. Years ago, I was Chinese. Yeah, that Shenmue thing, I love it. It was hilarious. I remember the first time I saw that. Alright, let's continue. Are you going to test Kingdom Hearts series? Yeah, I'm going to test Kingdom Hearts 3. That's the only one I can really tell you that I'm going to test, because I know it's the newest one. The other ones I'm not entirely sure, because they're $60 each, so I think that testing Kingdom Hearts 3 should give you a good idea on how the rest of the series performs. So for my wallet's sake, I'm probably going to only do Kingdom Hearts 3. And then once they are discounted, I do the rest. So yeah, just a heads up, probably going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, runs better or the same as Kiwami 2. It appears to be a little bit better, but again, in Kiwami 2 I remember that I tested on nighttime with some rain going on, so it was more demanding. But overall, it appears to be okay. I'm saving the progress just in case they throw me back to Hiroshima. So yeah, self-censored. What do you mean by that? I should laugh or cry. Can we switch to night? Oh yeah, the nighttime. Yeah, nighttime is going to be more demanding, that's for sure. More light sources. But again, I gotta move around a little bit more. Okay, Little Asia. When they give us a free game key, why would they? If they can sell you a product, they won't give it for free. Okay, a fight. Alright. Hang on guys, I'm going to see if I can lower those settings and get more FPS. Let's see if we can get 60. We're going to the lowest settings. So we lower those shadows, geometry, reflections, SSAO, no anti-aliasing, no depth of field. And let's see. And let's lower the texture filtering. Shouldn't change much of the performance, but let's give it a try. 41 versus... Yeah, I didn't change it at all. Well, let's keep it off just for the sake of it. So everything on the lowest right now. So 1080p lowest to see if we can get 60s. Probably not. We probably need 720p for that. But hey, gotta try it out. Yeah, nowhere close 60s, so keep that in mind, guys. If you want to play this at 60, probably 720p is the way to go, or 900p low. Yeah, Howard, you're looking into the future, man. How did you know I was going to lower those settings? That's insane. What am I going to eat tomorrow? Yeah, even when effects show up, I drop into the 30s, so yeah, not much of a thing that I can do to get 60s. Let's get up. Yeah, let's try 900p. Now that we're here, we might as well. So for 1080p, guys, just lower those shadows to medium. That should do the job just fine. To be over 30 frames per second. 60s appears to be impossible at 1080p. So we're going to go for 900p now. And instead of doing high settings first, we're doing 60s. Sorry, low settings. And then we're trying to crank it up those settings, which should be over 30 in that case. So as you can see, everything lowered to the minimum. And we're doing 900p lowest. And then we crank up those settings. So yeah. Anyways. Okay, yeah. 900p seems to be a lot easier for 60 frames, although we're very CPU... The CPU got a big hit when particles showed up. Now it's back into the 50% range, but it spikes to 80% usage. But it appears to be okay for over 50 frames, so good stuff. So if you want 60s, probably 900p lowest is the way to go. But the game looks a lot worse, especially the models. The models are significantly worse. Let me crank up that geometry, because that's looking terrible. The character detail is on the ground. So 57, we drop all the way down to 56. So yeah, keep that geometry on. So lowest plus high geometry. Just to get that character detail up. Can we switch to night? No, man. At the moment it's impossible. I'm limited by the mission structure. Okay, now the characters look a lot better and the game runs basically the same. Over 50. So yeah, as of right now, as it stands, it appears to be 50 to 65 on 900p lowest with high geometry. And the shadows still look good enough, but you lose the ambient occlusion and the reflections. So yeah, is the music copyrighted? I don't know, but I'm not going to risk it. Let's just leave it at that. I mean, the music is great, don't get me wrong, but I cannot risk it anymore. On Nier Automata, I did like 15 videos, none of them got copyrighted due to music, and my live stream testing Nier Automata and my recent videos got copyrighted due to music. So it seems to be very hit or miss. I'm not going to risk it again, I'm sorry guys. I'm here for performance. Once you play the game, you can enjoy the music, but I'm sorry, I cannot do really much about it. If I want to keep making videos, I need to monetize the content. I was talking about shadows a second ago. As you can see, they flicker quite a bit. They have a very heavy filtering. And the distance is pretty low. So yeah, the shadows are hit pretty hard. Let me see if medium shadows gives us similar numbers. So we're going to increase those shadows. 1 second. So 62 versus... Okay, 59. Yeah, we didn't lose any performance whatsoever. And the shadows are a lot better, I would say. The shadow draw distance is still pretty low though. as you can see, but it doesn't flicker as much. So let me see if I can, if I keep it on medium, what happens. I think that the reflections and the ambient occlusion are the most demanding things. But from the highest to low, it didn't seem to change that much performance-wise. Let's see, 52. Okay, the biggest difference is shadows from high to low, from high to medium, sorry. So, I mean, look at this. So, when I'm playing the game on high, like this, I get 48, 50. The frame time is super inconsistent, not sure what's up with that. But as you can see, 50 frames, 49, 50. But if I lower the shadows to medium, like this, instead of 50, 49, I get 57. So it's almost a 10 FPS improvement. So my advice would be high settings plus medium shadows. I'm going to move around because there is music in the background. Hang on. But it still drops, as you can see here when I'm fighting. Let me check if lowering those reflections or the ambient occlusion helps in any way. Ambient occlusion, okay, helps a little bit. And the reflections, yeah, doesn't change that much. Maybe the anti-aliasing. Okay, the anti-aliasing helps much more. So we're going to keep the reflections and the ambient occlusion. No, let's not. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is medium shadows, no reflections, so no SSR plus no SSAO, basically. So this means we keep the geometry on high, the shadows on medium, no screen space reflections, no ambient occlusion, and the anti-aliasing is completely disabled. That's basically it. That should give us over 50 most of the time, hopefully. So yeah, over 50 now, so it improved. But still, the frame times are so variable, I don't know what's up with that. Which is pretty unfortunate, it's pretty noticeable that something is limiting us. Kiwami series and this game requires lots of GPU power to maintain at least 60 plus. I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of GPU particles. I remember on PS4, when particles showed up, it drops into the 20s. So yeah. The games reminds me the 1050 Ti, like 750 Ti back in the days when especially decent AAA games released at those times. Well, yeah. At least we can lower those settings. But yeah, what I'm seeing here at least, let me increase my health. So as I was saying, it's over 50, sometimes drops into the 40s. But I mean, doesn't seem that we can do much about it. Other than lowering that resolution. Going to save the progress. Kiwami and Zero use another engine. Yeah, we were talking about Kiwami 2. Kiwami 2 and Like a Dragon use this same engine. And when running around, as you can see, the stutter is pretty noticeable. So yeah, maybe shadows on low can make a difference here. But probably not. I didn't see much of a difference before, so... yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's an improvement, but the shadows look so much worse. What the hell, it's a 1050 Ti. What was I expecting? Although Kiwami 2 seems to be more demanding, so far. Yeah, I think low shadows, no screen space reflections or ambient occlusion is good enough. Remember guys, I'm trying to get 50 to 60 in this section. Also in Kiwami 2 I think there was more people on the streets. This one appears to be more like less people are walking around. So yeah, that's probably why Kiwami 2 is so much more demanding. But I do not know really. Also the frame times improved a little bit. So that's good to see. Always good to see. Also the CPU was maxed out for a couple seconds. Not sure what the game is actually doing in the background. But the CPU usage is pretty variable. Let's leave it at that. Turn off the anti-aliasing. Yeah, I mean, without anti-aliasing the game looks pretty terrible. But the performance was improved like 5 FPS, so I'm going to take as much as I can for 60 frames. Kick to the face. Boom! Reduced to atoms. Alright, so as you can see in 900p we can get mostly 50 to 60 if you use these settings right here. You can probably see them. Low shadows, high geometry, so the characters look good even on fight scenes. No reflections, no SSAO, no anti-aliasing, and that's basically it. The game does look worse, don't get me wrong, but at least you can get decent numbers if you want to get the best performance. Of course, always optional. So we're going to try the highest settings now. So 900p high will be now my 30 FPS target. So we're aiming for 30 now, if you want better visuals. And I can already see the shadows look a lot better, we get reflections, ambient occlusion, although stuff into the distance doesn't look particularly great. And the anti-aliasing solution, being SMAA, gives us a lot of jaggies on the screen. So yeah, we're saving the progress. Say hi, hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, on the 1050 Ti, at the moment on 900p high, then we're doing 720p, hopefully we can get 60s there at high settings. So yeah, with an i5-9400F will it be better? It should be basically the same. Okay, let's fight a little bit more, but as you can see, if on 1080p we were getting over 30 most of the time on high settings, this was going to be no different. Maybe I was about to say, on the i5, maybe due to this higher single-threaded performance, you're going to get less stutters on the frame time. As you can see, the frame time is super inconsistent, not sure why. Maybe something to do with the Windows Store version. But I mean, it's still playable. If you're using a controller like me, shouldn't be that noticeable. I mean, if you do this and turn off the FPS counter, or use V-Sync with a 30 FPS cap, should be okay. But remember, this is a 1050 Ti, so it's better than I expected in that regard. Okay, so Curious now, super angry. Boom! Kick to the face. And as you can see, guys, when I get a lot of effects on screen, a lot of particles, it drops into the 30s. Those are GPU particles, that's why they look so soft and nice. Stop watching YouTube? Why? What the heck? Tell me how to focus on study, my exams are coming. Yeah, stop watching YouTube, man. Be productive. I don't know, try to do something you like, and then try to do 30 minutes of studying, then take a break. And just do that as many times as needed. That should give you, I don't know, good enough attention, I guess, with some small breaks every 40 minutes. So yeah, Yakuza 6. I saw what you did there, Ignacio. Can it playable on GT 1030? We're going to try it out. So patience, patience. But as you can see, 900p over 30 frames, super easy on high settings. So I'm going to try 720p now, so we can move on to other GPUs. So 720p, let's get going. Alright, 720. So going to change the FPS counter so you can actually see what's going on. There we go. So remember, high settings, so the game looks the best it can, basically. So yeah, 720p high now, as you can see. Everything on high. Okay, so 60 frames at least here, we'll see once we get into combat. But looking good. Sacaron un parche los fan para el Yakuza 0. Ah, para jugar en español. No entendí eso. Are you going to test Paradise Lost. Yeah, Paradise Lost, I'm probably going to give it a shot, but I'm not sure when yet. Oh, not this way. My bad. But yeah, Paradise Lost is on my radar. The thing is that tomorrow I'm testing Crash 4, and I want to do videos on Yakuza 6 on more GPUs. So I'm going to focus on that at the moment. Maybe next week, we'll see. Also next week I have Kingdom Hearts 3, so that's going to take some more of my time. Let's get into some combat. Let's get those thugs. Oh, I wanted to show you something about the... Oh, Kiryu just dropped there. I can break windows if I throw enemies at them. There we go, I broke a window. I love that. But as you can see, when effects show up, especially transparencies of windows and all that, we're going to get drops into the 40s. So yeah, probably... What the heck happened there? So probably I need to lower those shadows to medium to get to that 60 FPS target. Let's use this sword against them because Kiryu doesn't kill people, as you can see. He just stabs them with a sword, but it doesn't kill them. Hey, how's it going, man? Hello, bro, what's up? Just here testing Yakuza 6. Having some fun. So as you can see, indoors, it can drop into the 40s. So we're going to lower that shadow quality to medium, which in this case should be enough for 60. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So when I drop shadows to medium, instead of being in the mid-40s, I'm in the mid-50s, which again, in my opinion, only my opinion, over 50 is fine, is smooth enough. So we're doing mid-shadows at 720p high. So once we are inside, which is what drops performance, we're into the 50s, but outside we're more into the 60s. Let's break this window. Come on, let me break this window. Just crushing myself into it. No? Okay. That's fine. Let's just eat before continuing. Give me a burger, a well-hot chicken, a tea, and orange juice. Oh, this is too much. Okay, let's drop the orange juice. Yeah, like this. So I'm going to eat a lot of food so I can level up. Delicious. It's a plastic sword. Yeah, convenient. Alright. So let's get downstairs now. Let's get out of here. Alright. We're outside once more. Let's level up before continuing. So we got stats. I want to boost the attack. I want to be stronger, bigger, better, stronger. Defense, hit gauge, and the health. Alright, what else? Yeah, let's spend all the points now that we're here. Alright, perfect. Now we save the progress and we keep going. Are you going to test on higher end GPUs as well? Yeah, I'm going to do the 2060, but not sure when yet. Probably later today, and the 1030 as well. Okay, side missions, no thanks. Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today, en Madraco, todo bien? You have to eat in this game. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's the easy way to level up your character. It helps you get more stats, so it's pretty useful to go eat every once in a while if you want to level up. So yeah, it's part of the game, but you don't need to do it. It's a neat mechanic in my opinion. I mean, food is super cheap and it helps you level up there. Also, you cannot eat as much food as you want. You have a space in your stomach, so if you get too much food, you're not going to level up. You gotta be considerate about the amount of food you eat, just like in real life, I guess. I always eat food to level up. Let's skip this. Have you ever tested high-end GPUs like 1080 Ti or RTX 2080 Ti before? I had a 1080 Ti, but it was too much GPU power for my low-end needs, so I sold it a long time ago. Which, I mean, it's fine. I tested it, but there wasn't a lot of interest because, you know, when you have a high-end GPU, you usually do not look up videos on how it runs. And there's a lot of people covering high-end stuff. So, yeah, I think that my niche is more of a mid to low end, I'd say. Do you get your hands on any 30 series GPU? No, it's impossible to get those here. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. But that's fine. I mean, if nobody can get them, I guess if nobody can get them, no point of me testing it. The idea for me is to test stuff that most people can get. So, for example, right now the GT 1030 is the only GPU that you can actually buy at a decent price, if you can call it that. So I bought one and I started testing it, and the views skyrocketed just by doing GT 1030 benchmarks. Which makes sense. I mean, it's the only GPU that people can buy at the moment. Let's get a bento for the homeless guy. Although I want to save my progress now. I think I saw enough of the 1050 Ti on this game. As you can see, guys, it's either 1080p high settings, medium shadows for 30 frames per second, 900p highest settings for 30 frames, 900p low settings, high geometry for 50 to 60, or 720p high settings, medium shadows for 50 to 70 frames, basically. And there's some stutters in the frame time, which is weird. But at least you can play the game smoothly at the moment, if you are aiming for 60. For 30, I mean, using a controller is fine, but I mean, they need to fix those frame times. Maybe something to do with the Windows version, with Windows Store version. Maybe on Steam it's fixed, I do not know. But yeah, it's running better than I expected, really. Unfortunately, I cannot wait for nighttime, which is a bummer, because nighttime is usually more demanding, especially when it rains. But again, cannot really choose that here due to time constraints. I cannot keep playing the story to get to a more free area, to say it in some way. Hiroshima, which is another city, is smaller than this one, so it should be running better. So I try to be in a demanding place when testing games. That's why I'm saying in this section. But again, it appears to be fine, better than Kiwami 2 so far on performance. So yeah, for the people asking, yeah, it appears to be running better than Kiwami 2, but there's less people on the street, there's less reflections on the ground, it's not nighttime with the rain going on, so it kinda makes sense that it runs better in that regard. Also, this game came out before Kiwami 2, a few years before, so it should be less refined technology, less advanced. So yeah, let's go swap GPUs to the 570. So hang on, guys. Gotta quit the game. Yeah, Alt F4. What happened to the RX 580? I lent it to a friend because he couldn't get a GPU. So yeah, at the moment I gave it to him. We'll see later if we want to get it back or not. So far, not a lot of people were interested, apparently, because it's 10 frames ahead of the 570. So it kind of makes sense. Hang on, guys, going to swap GPUs, 1 second. Alright, so here's the 1050 Ti. Good stuff. Let's put it to the side. Time to put the 570 in. So here it is, dual fan 570. Wish me luck. Probably going to run better, but hey, gonna give it a try. Alright, PC is turning on. Patience. Which CPU are you using right now? I'm using a Ryzen 3 3100 on the gaming PC. So if you have something like an i5 9400F, an i5 10400F, something like that, you're probably going to have less frame time variation. It's going to be more stable overall. So yeah, my advice there, if you have a faster CPU, is to not worry. should be okay. And if you have a quad-core CPU, 4 cores, 4 threads, then it's probably going to stutter more. In that case, I would aim for 30 frames per second instead. But yeah, anyways, so we are here with the 570. Let's get to the Radeon software to show you that I'm on the 570 now. So let's go to, gotta turn up the shortcuts. Hang on, gotta remove all this stuff. Bye. No. Because it interrupts some of my hotkeys, so I turned those off. On display, we're going to enable GPU scaling for my capture card. This is something I need to do myself because I have a capture card and the pixel format on full RGB. Again, capture card stuff, so you guys get the best image possible. And then I'm doing what else? Graphics. I'm going to enable enhanced sync, which is like the NVIDIA fast sync technology, so I don't get any screen tearing. It's going to look better for you guys because this game has a lot of screen tearing, just to avoid that visual noise. So yeah, let's get into the game again. We're launching MSI Afterburner. As you can see, RX 570 here. So let's jump straight into it. This is again the Windows Store version. So if you have Game Pass, you should be able to play it right now. No shooting or driving here. Prefer sleeping dog style. Yeah, there's no shooting or driving, I think. Driving, I think, is not present. But yeah, it's mostly a beat 'em up in like the previous Yakuza games. So my advice, again, if you want to play this one, play Yakuza 0. If you like that one, play Kiwami 1. If you like that one, play Kiwami 2. Then Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 will feel outdated because those are PS3 ports. So if you want to skip those and watch them on YouTube, you can do so. And then jump to this one. So again, if you like Yakuza 0 and Kiwami 1 and 2, you're going to love this one. But as of right now, do not start on the 6th game. Just play the previous ones. They're included with Game Pass, I think. Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. But again, play 0. It's super cheap on Steam sales. It's a fantastic game. And if you fall in love with that one, just play the rest of them. But it's nothing like Sleeping Dogs. Nothing like it. It's a completely different beast. Anyway, so we're on high settings 1080p now. On the 570. Whoa. Okay, for some reason the camera there got kinda crazy. So 1080p high. Remember the 1050 Ti on 1080p high, we got, what's the name of this? We got 30 frames with drops into the 20s when we were getting into stores and all that with these settings. Okay, the frame times on this are significantly better. I'm pretty surprised, really. Usually the Radeon cards are the ones that have frame time issues on the X11. What the heck? This is so much smoother. Jesus Christ. Okay. So let's try to get into a store or something. Let's see if we can maintain over 30. But guys, look at that frame time. It's so much better. Holy hell. AMD really came a long way with the drivers. I mean, look at that frame time. Completely flat. That's insane. Good job AMD with the drivers. Anyways, so as you can see, the 570 is doing a lot better on this, which kind of makes sense. It's a more powerful GPU. But as you can see, when I'm indoors in one of these places, I drop into the 40s. You know, transparencies, glass, it happens. Let's try fighting. Let's put some effects on the screen. Oh, let's go. Effects on screen. Let's get him all we got. There we go. Effects. Give me those. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The frame time is insanely better. I mean, look at that. Yeah, completely flat. Absolutely wonderful. Maybe it's a GPU thing, but I'm pretty surprised with the frame times on the 570 this time around. But yeah, again, look at this. When you are close to glass, it drops pretty low. So let's see if we can get 60s by lowering some settings, such as the shadows from 37 to 42. Wow, that's a good improvement. Let's disable those reflections. Okay, that changes nothing. SSAO. A couple extra frames, nothing special. Anti-aliasing. Yeah, not a lot better. Yeah, it seems like glass destroys performance in this game no matter what. So we're going to keep shadows on medium, I think. Yeah, let's keep shadows on medium for now. And keep playing the game. Of course, guys, if it only drops getting into stores, I'm not going to tweak it for that. So yeah, this will be worst case scenario. Glass going on. Yeah, I get into the store and it's fine. Let's get some healing items in the meantime. Alright. That should do the job. Yeah, in the fights, even fighting is smoother. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. So inside the store, we drop it to the 40s. Outside, we get 60s. Good. Let's get into a fight with effects. I'm going to get the stamina and X to get the heat all the way up. So I can put effects to work. Alright. I got my ass handed to me. So, okay, let's go for effects. Dragon Ball Z style. So we mash square. Let's wreck him. Oh yeah, absolutely destroyed. But it was mostly over 50. Slight drops into the 40s, but overall it appears to be fine. Again, guys, my personal preference, over 50 to me is smooth enough. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised with the numbers so far. Looking good. Looking and playing good. Let me see if I can improve this by lowering the anti-aliasing. So standing here, we're getting 68. And once I lower the anti-aliasing to nothing, which will look pretty bad, but hey. 68 versus 70. Okay, a couple extra frames, but the game looks a lot worse. Let me see if FXAA at least gives us some sort of image stabilization. So we went into the 70s. Okay, we dropped one frame. So I think with FXAA, it looks a little bit better. SMAA looked pretty bad at the distance, not sure why. This is one of those games where TAA would be beneficial and some sharpening, but hey, we cannot have everything we want, I guess. Do karaoke? I'm not going to because, you know, copyright. Yeah, give me more enemies. Come on, enemies. Come on, menacing man. Come here, I have a bicycle for you. Let's go strong on them. Let's kick their asses. Hell yeah. Absolutely destroyed. Yeah, so far, I'll play this like you see right now. I'll play it on high settings, medium shadows, FXAA, and that should be mostly okay, at least for now. Which is your favorite karaoke song in Yakuza series? Judgment. I think it's called Judgment. Yeah, from Yakuza 0. Breaking the world. Horase. Tenderness. Breaking the rules. Sky Finance. Yeah, well, I'm not going to try. Many songs that are not copyrighted, according to everyone, end up being false positives on the content ID system. So I'm not going to try that. Sorry. So yeah, I already burned myself too many times with the content ID system. I rather avoid that. I mean, we're here for the game, not the music only. We're here for performance. Oh yeah, die. Or not. Reduced to atoms. Kiryu is 50. Yeah, in this game, Kiryu is much older. And it's pretty insane that he can move like that, but I mean, it's a video game. He's like a superhero. I wish I moved like that once I'm 50. Minimum decent, 6 core level is sweet spot for mid-range level in 2021. Yeah, it should be okay. So what did I need to buy? A bento set. Okay, let's buy that. Bento. Yeah, let's buy 2. One for myself as well. Let's get him the best of the best. But yeah guys, so far so good. Let's save the progress. But 1080p, at least in my opinion, 1080p high, medium shadows, FXAA should be a decent enough experience. Mostly over 50, even when fighting. When fighting, a lot of effects showing up, it drops into the low 50s, sometimes upper 40s. But overall, pretty stable. Frame times are great. So yeah. Let's skip this. Okay, the sewers shouldn't be super demanding, so I'm going to save here, get to the sewers, and in case it's a lot better performance-wise, we're going to go back to the city, basically. He summons a dragon in 7, so no surprise. Yeah, I mean, yeah, kinda makes sense. Oh, there's going to be a big fight here. It's going to be fun. Love this part. You beat them by throwing a pillow in this game. Yeah, true. True. Come on, time to fight. So a lot of effects are going to happen now because there's 2 characters fighting. But again, we're not in an open location, we're in the sewers. So it's not like being next to a skyscraper that has a lot of windows and stuff. But the effects are here anyways. So yeah, let's kick his ass. Bam! So yeah, so far pretty stable. Even when effects show up, so badass. I love when those things happen. Those are so Japanese. Kicking his face, both at the same time. So anime. Good stuff, man. I love these sections. This is one of the things I love about Yakuza. It's so Japanese. As you can see, he's very angry now. We're going to kick his ass again. Feeling the heat. Oh, he stabbed me. The RAM usage is very low in this game. Yeah, so far it's lower than I expected, but remember, this game released a while back on PS4. This is before Kiwami 2 even came to PC. Well, this is before Kiwami 2 came to PS4, so this game is pretty old. Especially if you played it back then, when it came on PS4. The PS4 Pro didn't even exist when this game came out. So yeah, kinda expected. But I think it still looks pretty good, considering its age. Same engine as Kiwami 2, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So yeah. Still pretty good surprise. Metro Last Light Redux was one that had extremely low RAM usage instead of maximum GPU level. Well, yeah, I mean, but Last Light wasn't super recent. So kinda makes sense. ¿Cómo haces para cambiar las placas de video? Tenés 2 PC. Tengo 2 PC, es por eso. Alright, we're back into the streets. So far so good. So let's go for 900p now, super quickly. I don't think I need to go below 900p, honestly. So we're going to keep the shadows on high. I don't think it's going to be super taxing. Now let's keep shadows on medium. didn't look that much worse, and we get a 9 FPS performance improvement, so why bother? So 900p high, medium shadows, and what was I saying? So yeah, so I was saying, no need to crank up those shadows too high, in my opinion. You get like a 10 FPS boost, but if you have an RX 580, which some of you guys do, you can do 1080p high just fine. It's like a 10 FPS improvement over the 570, so you should be able to max it out, no problem, and be at 60 frames. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you have a 580, 10 FPS ahead of this one, no worries whatsoever. Oh, take a taxi to the hospital. Okay, gotcha. We're getting there. And if we get again to Hiroshima, we're going to just load a previous save to come back to Kamurocho. And that's about it. But as you can see, 900p, completely fine over 60. Not a lot of CPU usage, which is impressive. So yeah, this game appears to be running a lot better on AMD, especially on the frame time part. So yeah. I thought they fixed where the bosses have multicolored health instead of a single bar. What do you mean? I thought that was a design choice. Hopefully Judgment gets ported soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm super looking forward to that one. Everyone says that it's an amazing detective game with a Yakuza flavor going on. Let's go to the hospital. Let's pay them a visit. Who's your friend? What do you mean? I have a lot of friends. Play PC games, mobile gamer. What do you mean? You can play on mobile. Well, there's an emulator for playing mobile games on PC. Also, I'm seeing that the cutscenes are locked at 60, which is fine. I mean, those are cutscenes. I'm not controlling the game. Oh, I have to investigate the accident. Whatever. Just step all over the evidence. Sure. Let's just ruin it for everyone involved. Make it harder for them to know what happened. We skip everything. That's rad. Yeah. If you play Yakuza 0, you understand that reference. Understand that reference. Okay, while chasing Ben down, just like the other games, there's always a chase sequence. Yeah, he's terrible at running, as you can see. Pretty funny. They're always running. He's probably going to Little Asia. Who's your friend in game? Oh, I mean, if you play Yakuza 4, you're going to notice who it is. You're going to know, better said. So yeah, the friend in this game is a character from Yakuza 4, Akiyama. But yeah, a great character from this franchise, Akiyama, I think it's called. You're going to love it if you play the other games. Come on, Kiryu. You can kick people and they go flying around. He cannot run more than 2 minutes without getting tired. This game seems to have a lot of aliasing. Would you recommend 1440p over 1080p high refresh rate? Yeah, completely. There's so much. Yeah, the aliasing is super noticeable on this game, even on the consoles. I wish they had some sort of TAA in this case, because there's so many straight lines going on. But as you can see, 900p is okay. Even on the... I think we could even do high shadows if we wanted. The thing is, when effects show up, it can get a little GPU bound. So we're going to get some effects on screen, just to show you the performance. So we mash square. And as you can see, here it drops into the 60s, but again, there's very little control. You're just mashing QuickTime events when that happens. So yeah, my advice for the 570 is either 900p medium shadows, high settings, or 1080p high with medium shadows. Again, that should give you mostly 60 frames. Hey Srujan Suriseti, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Kick to the face. Don't worry, Yakuza universe uses rubber bullets, so nobody dies. Okay, good. Good to know. So as you can see, 900p is okay, 1080p as well. Let's go for 1440p now. So let's give that a shot. So 1440p. And we're keeping the same settings as 1080p. So high settings, medium shadows, that appears to be the best balance. So this is 1440p high settings, basically, and shadows on medium. That should give you good visuals and good performance. So yeah, hopefully in Judgment we get a PC port, but man, it looks so much sharper, it's ridiculous. But still, the aliasing is very noticeable. But you can, guys, if you're watching this at 1440p or 4K on YouTube, you're going to notice the visual improvement is so much sharper, it's pretty insane. The game looks so much better. I'd rather play at 60 personally on 1080p. But if you don't want a lot of aliasing, this is a good way to play the game. If you don't care about 60 frames per second. It looks a lot sharper. Let's leave it at that. Does every game in Yakuza series have a different story, or does it continue in every series? Yeah, it's a continuous story with a lot of stuff in the middle. So a pretty complete story. So this is the same character from Yakuza 0. So you can see him from his 20s all the way up to the 50s. So yeah, basically you start in Yakuza 0 as a 20-year-old, and in Yakuza 6 you are 50, so yeah, it's a continuous story that has many characters going on. So yeah, it's a continuous story. The thing is that Yakuza 3, 4 and 5 are the PS3 versions upscaled to a higher resolution, and you can play them at 60 frames. So if you play Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and Kiwami 2, you are playing a way better version of those games. So then if you jump to Yakuza 3, 4 and 5, you're going to see those games as very outdated. So yeah, keep that in mind. My advice is play 0, play Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2. After that, watch what happens on YouTube, if you don't mind. Skip those PS3 games, in my opinion, if you care about the graphics and the gameplay. And jump straight to Yakuza 6. Because especially Yakuza 3 is very outdated, especially in the gameplay department. But if you can get it, if you don't mind playing those old games, you should be good to go. Have you seen Snyder Cut Justice League? No, but I watched the movie on TV and had some fun watching it. But I'm not really into movies a lot. I stopped watching movies like 2 years ago. I'm mostly now into, I don't know, I play more video games nowadays because, you know, YouTube, I do video games. So yeah, movies are a little boring to me nowadays. And I don't have the patience sometimes. I like reading books as well. Oh yeah, movie every once in a while, I like to have some fun. You think 3, 4 and 5 should get the Kiwami treatment? I mean, they could, but it will take a long time. So people that played Kiwami 2 probably want to jump straight into 6. I don't know. So yeah, as you can see, 1440p plays and looks good. You are 30 frames per second there. Let's try 4K. I don't have high hopes for 4K, but hey. Yeah, not looking good for 4K. But hey. So let's lower everything to the minimum. Remember, this is 4K resolution. A lot of pixels. So we disable everything. Okay, absolute lowest at 4K. And as you can see, 4K, you're not getting 30. So this is 4K lowest. You're not getting 30 frames, as you can see. We're below 30. I think Yakuza 5 has the best gameplay. Well, yeah, Yakuza 4 and 5 had good gameplay, in my opinion, but Yakuza 3 is so much different. Maybe skip Yakuza 3 if you tolerate older games. But in the gameplay department, 4 and 5 are okay. 3, I couldn't really get into it due to the gameplay. Other than that, it should be fine. If you don't mind the older graphics, 4 and 5 should be good. But man, Yakuza 5 is such a long game. It was insane. I played that for a few months, and it was so long, and you play so many characters. It's insane. Yeah, movies are a big commitment. Yeah, I agree. I mean, video games are a big commitment, especially Yakuza 5. But movies, I don't know, I get bored midway through. On a game, at least I can save my progress and come back later without feeling like I'm out of the loop, better said. So it's best to play Yakuza 0 first. Yeah, it's the very beginning. Play 0. If you like Yakuza 0, you're going to like the rest of them. Trust me. That's how I started the Yakuza series. So yeah, cinematic 25 FPS at 4K. So guys, advice for the 570. Do yourself a favor, either play on 1080p, like this, or play at 1440p, 30 frames. It's so much smoother, it's kind of ridiculous. So medium shadows and everything else enabled, basically, like this. So the 1080p settings will be high textures, medium shadows, high geometry, reflections on, SSAO on, FXAA, depth of field enabled, and that's basically it. Those are the best settings for 1080p. 1080p high plus mid shadows, and you're good to go. Mostly over 50 frames, and that's about it. As you can see, you're going to see a lot of aliasing because this game just looks that way even on the consoles. And if you want less aliasing, you can increase the resolution to 1440p, maintaining these same settings, and you're getting 30 frames. So you got the option. So yeah, which is your favorite karaoke song? I already said that, it's Judgment. I think it's called Judgment. I'm not sure if it's called Judgment, not that I'm thinking about it. It's one of the first songs in Yakuza 0. He says, breaking the world, who does it? I don't know, something like that. But as you can see, 60 frames. Let's swap to the next GPU now. So it was okay. On the 570 was great, really. Frame times super consistent. Pretty surprised with the 570's numbers. Good job, 570. And again, if you have a 580, an RX 580, make sure to put it on high or medium shadows if you want it. It's like 10 frames ahead of the 570. So you're going to get a pretty good experience. And you can maybe do 4K lowest settings on that one. But I mean, just play at 1080p or 1440p. 4K is a little overkill, I think. So good job, 570. Let's put it to the side. Time for the legendary graphics card from 2014, the 750 Ti. This game came out when this card was coming out, so probably going to be 720p. Who knows? Time to find out. So allow me a second. I'm waiting for the PC to shut down. Same here. You prefer the video games? Yeah, I mean, video games, you can pause them at any time, save your progress, come back. And in a movie, when I take a break from watching a movie, I'm pretty out of the loop. Basically, I forget what happened. On games, the same happens, but you get into the loop faster because you're mostly mashing buttons, doing the same thing over and over. So yeah, in that way, I think games work better for me due to that, due to the way of getting into the loop again of playing a game. So yeah. Yeah, that one, when he sings with Nishiki. Yeah, exactly, that's the song. You got that right. Oh, guys, also, I got a new lighting setup. Is my face looking good? I mean, this is without the light. I cannot believe that I made live streams without a light. So yeah, I got one of those rings of light so my face gets some light, basically. Who would have thought? So yeah, the legendary 750 Ti. Hi from Brazil. Well, hi from Uruguay, sir. Good to see you here. Yakuza 3 is really bad, great story, but everything else is rough. Well, yeah, it was the first PS3 Yakuza game. I agree completely. The gameplay is terrible on that one in comparison to the others. So, alright, back into the computer now. We have the 750 Ti installed. So, we're going to start with 1080p lowest. But again, I don't think we're going to get a good experience. So, lowest 1080p, and we're going to overclock the card, because 1080p is a little too much for this one. So yeah, what we do here is we add 200 MHz to the core and 400 MHz to the video memory, basically. That's the overclock on the 750 Ti, and we jump to the game right away. You look handsome. Well, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. I love you too. Okay. Handsome Jack. Yeah, great game, Borderlands. Do you enjoy Yakuza 6 combat compared to 0? Well, 0 is different. 0 is less physics-based, better said. So Yakuza 6 and Kiwami 2 have their own flavor. I mean, they are fun, but they are very different. They have more weight to the movements in that regard, which is something that Yakuza 0 has less of. It's more like an older beat-em-up game in 3D. So there are different styles of combat. I do not prefer Yakuza 0. Personally, I like the combat in this game due to the physics. I can throw enemies around, they bounce off walls, they just get crushed against the ground, they can destroy windows. I mean, I love that about these games. That looks very good. But in Yakuza 0, you're limited to a fighting, to a place to fight, to a reduced place. So yeah, personal preference, I prefer the combat in this one. Which doesn't mean that Yakuza 0 has terrible combat. ¿Tú hablas español? Sí, por supuesto, soy de Uruguay. Papelucho, soy de Uruguay. Alright guys, so lowest settings, 1080p. Okay, we're over 30, which is not something I was expecting, really. Let's crank up that geometry. The characters look terrible. Okay. Okay, still looking good. So 1080p lowest. Let's crank up that geometry to high, so high geometry. And also we're cranking up the what's the name of this? Anisotropic filtering. Oh, it's already on. Okay, never mind. So yeah. Does the Windows version perform the same as the Steam version? It should. But as you can see, like it happened on the 1050 Ti, the frame times are pretty inconsistent, which makes the game look inconsistent. Who had thought? Let's put some effects on screen. Let's see how it fares. Okay, 30 frames. It's dropping now. But I mean, when we are actually fighting, it appears to be mostly okay. But again, 30 frames per second with some drops into the 20s, just like the PS4 version, really. On the PS4 version, when effects show up, you drop into the 20s. So yeah. Kinda makes sense. Although I think the PS4 version is on 900p, with better shadows and reflections. Stream bilingüe, sí, básicamente, depende de quién me escriba. So yeah guys, let's see, inside of store, we drop into the mid-20s. Let me see if lowering the geometry helps in any way. Probably not, but hey. Let's see. Yeah, basically one extra frame. So my advice, if you're playing on 1080p, just play like this, everything on the lowest, but geometry on high. You need an overclock for this to be playable on 1080p. Oh, sorry, the frame rate counter was obstructed, my bad. Apologies. Yeah, it seems to be an issue with frame times on the Nvidia cards in this game. As you can see, the frame time on the 570 was fine, on the 1050 Ti it was like this. But we're going to see on the 1650 Super if the same happens. But yeah, it seems that on the NVIDIA cards it's more inconsistent. I'm not sure if the Steam version will be the same, but it should be basically the same. What are some useless settings in Yakuza that have huge impact on FPS or barely any difference in visuals? The shadows, if you lower those from high to medium, you get lower shadow distance, but the filtering of the shadows is still decent enough, so that gives you a 10 FPS boost from high to medium. In this case we have a low-end GPU, so low shadows is a requirement. Then reflections and ambient occlusion helps a little bit, so my advice would be, first of all, lower those shadows to medium. If that's not enough, lower everything else. There's not much of a useless setting on this one, which is kind of a bummer. And do not use super sampling. There's an anti-aliasing option called super sampling. Do not use that. It's super demanding. But yeah, other than that, not a lot of useless settings on this one. Just like on Kiwami 2. Oh yeah, new game on the Epic Store. Yeah, makes sense. It's Thursday, so yeah. Alright, I saw enough of 1080p. Let's go to 900p now. But we're going to disable the overclock because why? I know that most people do not overclock. So 900p with the same settings is what I'm doing at the moment. But as you could see, geometry didn't make much of a difference on performance, but visually it's a huge difference. The characters look much better with geometry on high. NVIDIA cards don't have any specific frame time issues that may happen due to insufficient GPU power. Yeah, I'm not saying all NVIDIA cards have frame time issues. I'm saying in this particular game, I'm getting frame time issues with NVIDIA cards. So yeah, good clarification. Good clarification. Thank you. So, okay, 900p lowest now. Hang on. For some reason the game forced itself to 4K. What the heck? Come on, 900p, 900p. There you are. Yeah, on this game on PS4 is 30 frames per second, but it drops below 30 pretty often, especially when effects show up. Alright, 900p, here we go again. So 900p, lowest settings and high geometry. So this is without any overclock to the card, because I know most people do not overclock. And as you can see, in a store is upper 20s, which on 1080p was mid 20s. So if you overclock here, you're going to be over 30 all the time, basically. And I think there's an enemy close by, because I can punch for some reason. Oh yeah, here he is with a bike. Hello, sir. Get out of here. So as I was saying, 900p is good enough if you do not want to overclock. How much does GTX 750 Ti cost nowadays? It really depends. Due to the GPU shortages, it got pretty expensive. It got as the same price as a GT 1030, I think, or more expensive, which is pretty crazy. On the used market, it used to be super cheap. So yeah, it really depends on the country and a lot of stuff, a lot of variables. So yeah, thanks for the understanding. I like these behaviors. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm just trying to be myself. That's basically it. Okay, even with effects on screen, I'm over 30, so good. Can you please try this game on a 1066 gigs? Unfortunately, I no longer have a 1060, so no way to do so at the moment. But I'm going to do 1650 Super after this one, and that one should be basically the same as 1060 in most games, so do not worry. Should be similar. I didn't notice that much drop when entering shop in Kiwami 2. Yeah, in this one, I mean, it's daytime. It seems to have more windows, so the transparency in the windows kind of kills the GPU, as you can see here. So when there are windows on screen, it just drops. It appears to be a thing with this particular game. On Kiwami 2 I didn't pay a lot of attention really. So yeah. I mean, it's kinda... it's a minor thing, in my opinion. But it happens, so... that's good to show it. I mean, once you go outside, it goes back up into the 30s. So I think it's fine. I mean, when in combat it's okay. You can find a 750 Ti in your country. Well, I mean, remember, there's no GPUs in stock, basically worldwide. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Okay, let's do one more fight and we swap to 720p. Which, 720p, I'm expecting 30 frames on a mix between medium and high. Which is probably the best way to play the game on the 750 Ti. If you care about graphics. Go to the tower, huge FPS drop there on Kiwami 2. Okay, to the Millennium Tower, you might be saying, I might try it. Let me check. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I remember it dropping on Kiwami 2. Because there's so much windows on that. You don't spend much time in shops anyway. Yeah, true. I mean, I just walk in there, buy stuff and get out. You can fight in a shop if you want, but I mean, it's kind of a waste. You can fight outside with a lot better, a lot more space. So yeah, come on Kiryu, run. Okay, Millennium Tower. A lot of glass. Yeah, as you can see, just like in Kiwami 2, you drop frames if you stand here, but I mean, you can just run away to the entrance, basically, and you're over 30 just fine. So I think it's a minor thing. The game is still completely playable. It's just, I mean, this is a 750 Ti. I wasn't expecting much at all, so I'm pretty surprised that we can even do 900p, personally. Hey, what cheap GPU do I pair with my Athlon 200G? Probably a GT 1030 or a 1050 Ti if you have more money and you can find one. And if you're lucky and find a 570, you can limit those frame rates to 30 and play on 1080p which a much more stable experience. But yeah, first of all, I'll try to find a 1050 Ti. If that's not available, try a 570, and if that's not available, GT 1030 or an RX 550. Something like that. That should be fine. How long is stay in the game? Depends on the mission. In this case, since we have to do very specific tasks and you're not completely free in this city, it's always daytime in this chapter, I think. So it shouldn't be very different. Let's go now for 720. And again, for 720p, I'm going to crank up those settings. 60 frames, not going to be possible, consistently at least. So we put medium shadows and the rest cranked up. So this is high settings, medium shadows, just like on the other cards. So this is 720p, high, plus mid shadows. And that's about it. You don't need to do more than that, which is good, I think. So as you can see, yeah, well, give you a chance, he's 50, he can't run much well, but he fights like a beast. Why can't he run? It's absolutely ridiculous. GT 1030, the GDDR5 version, yeah, do not get the DDR4 version, that is dreadful. Get the GDDR5 version. So as you can see now, at 720p, with medium shadows and high settings, you are over 30 very easily. Let's get inside the store to stress test the game. Yeah, over 30. So this is the best way to play the game, in my opinion. As you can see, you can fight indoors if you want. But why would you? There's so much space outside. Let's just throw them against the glass. Boom! Glass shatters. Just like your spine. Let's get the heat going. Yeah, let's kick his ass. There we go. Completely wrecked. He's gone forever. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to block. Small detail. But as you can see, this gives you ambient occlusion, reflections, it gives you basically everything that you need for the game to look good. And the shadows are a lot better. So yeah, I would personally play like this if I only had this GPU. It's the most stable way to play it. Maybe a 30 FPS cap with V-Sync. But that's about it. But it won't be 60 anytime soon. I mean, if the 1050 Ti had trouble getting 60s, imagine the 750 Ti. So yeah, as you can see, 720p is fine. Do guns exist in Yakuza? Yeah, they exist. But they are not super common. Let's keep it at that. Come on, Kiryu, you can do this. Yeah, it's such a fun beat-em-up game. I agree completely. It is. Alright, let's go to the taxi. Oh, I have to beat the enemies first. Well, maybe they lose me. No, they're not. Okay. Let's get them. Whoa. Yeah, let's kick their asses. Boom. Wrecked. Absolutely wrecked. Is Yakuza Like a Dragon called Yakuza 7? I don't think so. I think it's called Yakuza Like a Dragon and that's about it. But it's a sequel, as far as I know. I don't know a lot about the time frame. But I do know that just start with 0 and work your way up. Basically, you don't need to know more than that. Let's get to the Tojo clan headquarters. In the meantime, I'll drink some water. Whoa, it loads up so fast. I love when games do that. I love when loading times are so fast. Ah, water. Okay, back in Kamurocho. Okay. There's more people on the streets. That's fine. But as you can see, guys, a lot of reflections, just like Kiwami 2. Those wet surfaces. So many wet surfaces. Imagine playing Yakuza 0 for 50 hours without knowing that there's a sprint button. Yeah, holy hell. F's in the chat for your thumbs. We skip it, skip. Let's get back into the streets. Should I skip Yakuza 3 and play all the other from 0 to 6? I mean, yeah, skip Yakuza 3 if you love playing games. Just play 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2. Watch what happens on Kiwami 3 on YouTube, there are videos explaining. Then play Yakuza 4, 5, the gameplay on those is fine, and those games are super long. And then play Yakuza 6, and then Like a Dragon, if you like what you saw. And you basically have hundreds of hours of content, even if you only play the main missions. You have stutter problems on Forgotten Sands. Make sure that you have RAM on dual channel, that's super important. So yeah, anyways. As you can see, guys, it's okay on 720p. 30 frames, high settings, medium shadows. Let's swap to the 1650 Super now. So we get out of the game. Excuse me. Yeah, 50 hours on those games. 50 hours is nothing. I mean, there's so much to do in the Yakuza games. It's ridiculous. The amount of content you're paying for, out of this world. And it has a very gripping story, at least in my opinion. Alright, so here's the 750 Ti. Good job. The 720p card. So time to do the 1650 Super, which should run like the 1066 gigs. It only has a 6-pin connector. All right, it's in. That's what he said. And always the same stupid joke. So time for the 1650 Super now. Allow me a second. Un i3 10100F no hace cuello de botella con una i50. No, está sobradísimo. Podrías ponerla hasta una 2060, lo más bien. Así que tranqui. How? What do you mean by how? I have two PCs. One does the live stream, the other one does the gameplay. That's how I avoid a performance hit, basically. How you're still live? I told you a second ago. Two computers, that's the magic. Anyways, so we're back into the PC now. We're on the 1650 Super. Excuse me. So yeah, we go to the NVIDIA control panel. Oh, and I forgot to mention, on this one I'm going to enable the fast sync because the screen tearing is super distracting. So let's go to 3D settings. And we're going to change a couple of things that are not super important, but fast sync is only one of them. Yeah, DSR, I'm not enabling that. Let's see. Optimal power, no, we prefer maximum performance, which shouldn't change much at all, really. But hey, we are enabling it anyways. B-Sync, here we go. We use fast, just for you guys to not see tearing. It's not always the best option, but hey, I don't want you guys to be distracted with the screen tear. And that's basically it. Let's launch the game on the 1650 Super. It should be... Let's see if it's faster than the 570 in this game. Probably is, but hey. Way powerful 1050 Ti. You have a small one fan GPU. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a monster. It has two fans, but it's still a 750 Ti. So it is what it is, man. I hope 1650 Super has stable frame times. We'll see. We're about to find out. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it. What's the minimum specs for the streaming PC? You can see everything in the description. As long as you use the NVIDIA encoder, you should be okay. Alright, so now 1080p. And we crank up those settings to the highest. There we go. Okay, wonderful. And I think that's about it. Let's continue with the game. How are the frame times if you want to cap it at 30? Yeah, I mean, like a Dragon, it seems that they made a way better job. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the frame times on this one are a lot better. So maybe it's a thing with NVIDIA cards before the 16 series, because look at that frame time. I mean, a lot better. Let me skip this. So as I was saying, yeah, it's a lot smoother than the other cards. So probably if you have a 20 series card or a 16 series card, it's smoother. As you can see, it stutters way less than the 750 Ti and way less than on the 1050 Ti. So that's a lot better. The improvement is very noticeable. I mean, look at that frame time. Absolutely insane. And it appears to be okay. Let's try to do one more fight, and we are going to try lower shadows. But it appears to be better than the 570, which kind of makes sense. In most games, it is that way most of the time. Come on, fight me. Fight me. Let's put effects on screen now. Come on. I'm going to increase my health before. Hang on. There we go. Effects on screen. Okay, we drop into the 40s in this part. But in the rest of the fight, it should be over 50 just fine. Let's find out. Yeah, it appears to be just dropping when I have those close-ups. So yeah, should be fine. Have you got a Radeon RX 5700 XT? I do not, unfortunately. So guys, for the 1650 Super, I think I would play on the highest settings on 1080p. It appears to be 50 to 60. But if you want to be over 60 all the time, medium shadows, and that's about it. You're over 60 basically the entire way through. Plus mid shadows. Again, like I said before, medium shadows is not a lot worse than high shadows. It looks good, and you get a 10 FPS boost, so personal preference. So yeah, let's do one more fight and we go to the hospital once more. So allow me a second. Oh, I forgot to get into the store. Let's see if we can maintain 60s in the store. Okay, yeah, even in the store we're getting good numbers. Let's get out of the store and... yeah, 70s again. So yeah, for 60s I'll play 1080p high with medium shadows. And that's about what I recommend. Whoa, dropkick. That guy plays Dying Light. It's 27-inch monitor with 5 milliseconds, 60 Hz, bad for gaming. I mean, 5 milliseconds would be the very minimum, in my opinion, for latency. So if we're going for 60 Hz, should be fine, in my opinion. Some people say that 3 milliseconds is the minimum. For me, 5 milliseconds was fine. So I would get it, yeah, it shouldn't be bad. Just make sure that the viewing angles are good as well. That's super important. And if you have the option to something with, I don't know, 3 milliseconds, it's going to be better, but I don't know, 5 milliseconds I think is fine, personally. But yeah, 27 inches should be fine. Play Valorant? I already did it. You can find it in the channel. Okay, we're almost finished. Let's go to the hospital. Speaking of Dying Light, we need Dying Light 2. Yeah. But with the virus and everything, it's been kind of rough. Holy hell. Alright, I cannot skip this. Oh, I have to fight Akiyama. So, spoilers. Yeah, let's destroy his ass. You're my friend, but for some reason I need to kick your ass. Yeah, I love the physics in the Yakuza games, especially Kiwami 2 and 6. Let's get him! Ugh. I love that there's a baby in the background. Like, he doesn't care at all, but there's people fighting. So Japanese. Whoa! What a kick! So flashy, I love it. Ya probaron las 570, sí, rebobina el stream y lo encontrás. Come on, get up, Kiryu. I said get up. Almost got him. There we go. We skip the cutscenes. Okay, now Kamurocho at night. Yeah, I think so. Isn't that guy who killed the old man in Yakuza 0? I do not know, really. Probably not. Destroy the room. Yeah, with a baby in the background. Okay, so I got to chapter 2, I think. Oh, chapter 3 already? What? In an hour and a half? Okay, that's fair. Okay, now we're out of Kamurocho. We're now in Hiroshima. As you can see, it's a different city, which is smaller than Kamurocho. There's less glass as well. So this should be running better than Kamurocho. So I'm probably going to go back to a previous save. Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting any performance problems here. It seems to be running okay. Since you practice martial arts, can you fight like Kiryu? Not like Kiryu. I'm not that much of a badass, but martial arts are more into the spiritual part more than the fighting part. The fighting part is just a secondary effect of practicing. Hopefully, I never need to use it. So yeah. Okay, let's fight Tsuyoshi Nagumo. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, this part runs fine. To be expected, really. Smaller city, less stuff going on in the background. Okay, he's way stronger than on the first mission, which makes sense. Oh, I forgot to level myself up, hang on. Stats, let's boost the health. Let me see if there's other skills. Combo speed, yeah, give me more. Dash attack, yeah. Quick recovery, yes please. What else? Hit actions level 1. I'll take that. Yeah, more sprint, yes. More sprint, please. So he doesn't get tired that easily. Boost evasion. Okay. That was good enough, I think. Oh yeah, I'm a lot faster now. What martial art do you practice? I practice Kung Fu and Tai Chi, basically. Today with the rain we're probably not practicing because we practice in open environments. So today I'm probably not training, which is a shame, but hey, it happens sometimes. What can you do about it? He's pretty strong. Honestly, this port is such an improvement over Kiwami 2. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, this is a game that is older, so should be easier to run. But yeah, it's a lot better so far on the performance side, which is it's good to see. Wait, did you mute the music footage recording or for copyright? For copyright. To avoid copyright, I disabled the music. It's kind of a... what the hell? Okay. So he got angrier. Perfect. Just what I needed. As you can see, he doesn't feel pain anymore. As I was saying, yeah, I mean... Can you break bricks? No. We don't do that here. Like the meme says. No, we don't do that here. We just try to improve ourselves. Frame time seems good. Yeah, on the 16 series cards appears to have good frame times. The ones that had trouble with the frame times were the cards that are the 10 series and before. So if you have a 1050 Ti, 750 Ti, something like that, it should stutter way more. But it should still be a playable experience, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Should be fine. Holy hell, it's so tough. Let's heal. Come on, let me kick your ass. I need to continue here with the live stream. Come on, Nagumo, come on. Please. Do Yakuza song get claimed? I do not know, probably not, but I mean, it gets flagged incorrectly so many times that I'm not even trying to put music anymore. That's been the best solution. Which is fair, I guess, because I'm only showing performance, but I cannot risk it anymore. I've been copyrighted so many times for nothing that I prefer not to risk it anymore. It's not worth it. I'd rather not have music in the video than getting copyrighted. It makes no sense. Without that, I'm unable to make money making videos, and without that I cannot purchase the game, the hardware. It's basically impossible, so it's one of the big trade-offs, but not much that I can do about it, really. But it's fine. Luckily, I don't analyze music, only performance. So yeah, looks like a 2010 game. Well, you're probably not playing a lot of 2010 games if you think this looks that old. Alright. So let's go now for 1440p. Now that we're here. 900p doesn't seem necessary, really. So 1440p. Yeah, Dark Master, we're doing 1440p. Also, yeah, the game is old already. It's like from 2013, 2014, I think. Which is fair, I guess. So this is 1440p. Again, medium shadows. Because we get a 10 FPS boost. So why not take advantage of it? And we seem to be okay. Probably when fighting, we're going to drop all the way into the 30s. But it's over 30, so should be okay. Pretty off the topic question, but how much protein do you need to build muscles? Just going into the gym? I do not know, really. I do not build muscle, so I do not know, man. There are many guys on the internet, so you should be fine. Should be easy to find out, but I know nothing about that. What an off-topic question, yeah. 2010 game does not look like this. Yeah, nowhere close. I wish 2010 games looked like this. Would have been a great year. Oh, 2016, okay. Just in time, well played. Well, thanks. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the subscription. GTA 4 is 2009 and still look great. Well, GTA 4, I mean, GTA is GTA. I mean, it's like saying, hey, people in their 50s and 60s are very athletic. And you say, hey, yeah, I mean, look at Sean Connery and Brad Pitt. And I mean, you do not use the best thing as an example. You use the average thing as an example. So using GTA as an example is pretty... I don't know, it doesn't make sense. I mean, GTA is always ahead of the curve when it comes to technology. So yeah, you cannot use that as the only reference. I mean, if every game looked like GTA 4 at that time, it would have been different. Doesn't make sense to use that as a comparison. Okay, we skip. Skippity skip. Alright, get some milk. Gladly. Oh yeah, I have to calm down the baby. Haruto won't calm down. Yeah, I'm working on it. So, Parenting Simulator 2020 on PC now. Yeah, don't worry. We're getting there, be patient, please baby, do not cry. Oh, I have to calm Haruto. This is the best part of the game, I think. Hopefully I never have to do this in real life. What do I have to do? Oh, lift and swing. Okay. Oh man, please. I hope I never have to do this in real life. You can finally know who is Akiyama. Wow, good to know. Okay, this is not working. Oh, let's use rubs. No? He doesn't like that? Oh man, I'm so terrible. A swing? Maybe? No? Takai? No? I don't know what I have to do. Help! We should be able to use Haruto as a weapon. Just kidding. Okay, that is working. Okay. I'm better at this now. No! Shut up, please! Did Yakuza Kiwami 2 release after Yakuza 6? Yeah, exactly. No? Yoshi. Coming a baby night in middle of the road. Yeah, best parenting ever. They adapted this non-gyro control. Oh, it was gyro controls before. Really? That's insane. What else does he want me to do? Yoshi. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. I press everything and it doesn't help. He just doesn't like that. 10 seconds more. But this is so Japanese. Which other game does this? Okay, do you feel better now? Failed. Of course I failed. Keep crying, that's fine. Yeah, I completely suck at this. Good thing I never have children. This game is more demanding than Yakuza Kiwami 2 because this one was released first. You can say it's a beta Dragon engine. Well, maybe they improved it for the PC version, who knows. But you can notice that when playing Like a Dragon. Like a Dragon runs so much better. It's insane. Go to the pharmacy. Alright. Let's go that way. Oh, less demanding. Okay, yeah, makes sense. I mean, Kiwami 2 had more stuff going on, that's for sure. Do you know how late it is? Well, the baby's crying. What the heck do you want from me, lady? Please, Haruko, do not cry again, please. I'll force to be using HIT in action. Oh, not again. Oh my god. Why are there no subs in the game? Yeah, I think there are. Okay, let me check. Man, I hate this part. This is so painful. Yeah, please. Be happier quickly. Please be happier quickly. Imagine you get an achievement, bad parenting. Yeah, I'm probably going to get all those achievements. Any second now. Oh, come on. No? Doesn't work? Yoshi. No? Lifting maybe? Do you want to be lifted? Yeah, you want to. Fucking baby. I mean, freaking baby. I did not say the F word. Look at the controller. If you wait a bit, Kiryu will tell you what to do. Oh, okay. Oh, lift him. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm stupid. Okay, I did it. I'm a perfect parent. Lol, that's hilarious. Kiwami 2 ran awful on PS4 though. Well, I never played that one on PS4, so I cannot give you my experience. But I remember that this game, when effects showed up, or a lot of physics happened, on PS4 it dropped below 30 very easily. It was pretty inconsistent in that regard, at least in my experience. But Hiroshima, this one, at night, like I'm doing right now, ran fine on PS4. Speaking of the optimization. Yeah, it was such an easy minigame and I screwed it up because I wasn't being patient. That's hilarious. Just give Kiryu a couple seconds. Yeah, I did, and it worked fine. So yeah, he's very smart. Let's skip this. If this is Geralt, he will put the baby in the oven. Yeah, probably. Or make the baby become a witch, yeah. Or something like that. Of course in wrong words, since the PS4 is obsolete garbage since 2015. That's why they make PS4 Pro. Well, yeah, but that doesn't fix... Oh, here we go again. This time it should be easier. Let's see. I'm going to wait for Kiryu to say stuff. Okay. What do you want? Upsy Daisy. Okay. I'm an expert now, as you can see. I'm ready to have 5 children. What now? Lift him, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course I do that. I mean, considering the hardware, it's amazing that it can run decently on PS4. Upsy Daisy, yeah, sure. Ha ha ha. Yeah, Kiryu is good at everything. Is there something that Kiryu doesn't know how to do? Is 750 Ti already tested? Yeah, 720p was fine on the 750 Ti. You can rewind the live stream for that. A barber shop. What the heck? Oh, I have to fight. Okay. This baby should be in bed. Yeah, that's the place where it belongs. Drunk Yakuza? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we're fighting him. Audio. As you can see, 1440p was fine. I mean, even when effects show up. Look at that. So many particles. We skip everything. Okay. Let's go back to the apartment. We have earned some rest. Hell yeah. You got that right. Award to Santiago, best parent of 2021. Yeah, at least for a couple of minutes. But man, baby noises are so annoying when they are crying. It's pretty clear that that is wired to the brain to be annoying. So we pay attention. On consoles there are a lot of compromises and tricks in rendering to reduce a lot on the hardware. Yeah, but you can still play the game, which is what matters, I think. Yeah, the 750 Ti can run it pretty well, yeah. Okay, now it's daytime. I'm still with the baby. Oh man. But it runs okay. Let's try 4K now that we're here, to have something extra to watch. So 4K. Alright. So 4K resolution now. It's probably going to be below 30, but hey, let's go to the lowest. Yeah, remove everything. Yes, I want to change the graphics. Thank you. Yeah, just like the 570, 4K lowest appears to be just a cinematic 25 FPS. So we do 4K lowest settings and we get... Okay. Below 30, but it is there if you care. Let's kick these people's ass. This guy's asses. Yeah, please, stranger, hold the baby for me. I need to kick some ass. Oh man, those shadows are terrible in low settings. So yeah, do not play this at 4K, please, on this card at least. You're not going to have a great time unless you enjoy those cinematic FPS. What is your mission now with this baby? I mean, play the game to find out. I don't want to spoil it for everyone. But it's pretty interesting. It's not a minor thing. Let's leave it at that. It's a pretty important mission. And there's a lot of mystery behind it, but I mean, it's not important until you play the other games. Because you care so much about the characters. That I know, I think it's good not to spoil it. Alright. Yeah guys, do not do 4K please. I mean, it's 30 here, but when fighting it dropped. So my advice would be just play at 1440p, high settings, medium shadows, or at 1080p high settings to get 60 frames if you want 60 frames. So yeah, anyways, I think that's it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. This game is available on Game Pass if you want to play it. Should be available on Steam in a few. Let me check if it's there. Store.steam-powered. Let me check if it's on Steam already. So, Yakuza 6. Yeah, it's on Steam. How much is it? It's $20 on Steam. So guys, if you want to play this game, it's also available on Steam for $20, 20 US dollars. Or you can pay a month of Game Pass and start playing right away on the Microsoft Store, which is what I'm using right now. It's a 20 gigabyte download, I think, or a 60 gigabyte download. I think it was 60 gigabytes, yeah. It cannot be 20. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this live stream. I'll see you tomorrow testing Crash 4. It's about time. Yeah, I'll see ya next time. Bye guys. Thank you. See ya later guys. Thanks for watching. Love you all. See you tomorrow.